and welcome to HCS Connects. I'm Kelly Gorel with Hampton City Schools. We just wrapped up another successful school year. So now what? What are the opportunities for our students during the summer? So today, my first guest that we have here with us is Daryle Rodgers, our Extended Learning and Out of School Time Coordinator for HCS. So welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, we're glad you're here with us today. So tell us a little bit about your position. What does that mean, Extended Learning Out of School Time Coordinator?
So as Extended Learning Out of School Time Coordinator, I often in charge of programs that are outside the traditional school day that support the academics of the school day, but looks to be delivered in a different manner. So not the same thing after school, but some of the same content, but in a fun, enthusiastic type of way.
So who do you serve in this out of school time?
So in the out of school time, this past year we had 17 different programs at 16 different schools. And what we had 21st Century Programs, which is funded through the Virginia Department of Education through a competitive grant that served 10 schools. They had 7 elementary schools and 3 middle schools. We also had Math Blitz that focused on math opportunities to strengthen math skills of our students and those students that just like to be engaged in math. And then we had that at 5 of our schools. And then at 2 of the schools, we had our S.T.R.E.A.M after school program, which stands for Science, Technology, Recreation, Engineering, Art, and Math, that really focused on students that love the STEM designs and STEM concepts and kind of foster them to continue their growth in STEM. So we provided those opportunities after school, as well as working with school-age programs where we provided some professional development opportunities, as well as some curriculum alignment. And then and we also develop a lot of community partnerships. So we help a lot of our community partners develop after-school time programs or extended learning programs and kind of connect them with what we're doing with Hampton City Schools and see how we can serve and help them.
So you have done a ton of work this past school year supporting students, almost to the point you almost need a break.
Yes,
but you're still here working with us.
Yeah.
So what opportunities do our young people have for this summer?
Oh, good, great. This summer we actually have our S.T.R.E.A.M camp. So what we do is we take our 21st Century funding and we also run a summer program called S.T.R.E.A.M. Again, it stands for Science, Technology, Recreation, Engineering, Art, and Math. And we have about 1,000 students that participate and around 126 staff members. And how it operates is that 2 days of the week is focused on academics and strengthening our academic areas during the summer in our core areas. But we also have some unique classes such as sports science, where our teachers design the curriculum for sports science, so they're focusing on not just the sport itself, but maybe the angle of how to shoot a basketball, those kind of experiments. And then we have our community class, in which the students are then asked to come up with 2 ways they can help in the community. For instance, last year they helped reface carries outside seating area and to beautify that. And then also they took some old jeans and they made shoes to send to Africa for people that didn't have shoes. And then our big class, one of our big classes is Shark Tank, and that is where the students have to, just like the show, they have to develop a project that works, that they can sell, they can market, and they get a chance to have that public speaking skills. And so at the end, I invite anybody that would like to come out to see that collaboration. At the end, they get to present their projects just like the television show.
Which ironically, you mentioned the Shark Tank piece because it wasn't you, it was somebody else that I ran across about a month or 2 ago that put that little bug in my ear as far as this is a great opportunity for our students. You will not believe the projects that come out of this, and hey, you may want to be a judge. So yes. I may see you for Shark Tank coming up.
Absolutely.
So all of these opportunities, who are they available for? Is this K through 8? Is it K through 12? When do they begin?
So it begins June 25th and it goes to July 26th. It's Monday through Thursday from 12 to 5:30. And we do anywhere from, some schools, depending on the school, some go from K and then we go all the way up to 8. Majority of the students are rising 3rd through 5th and then rising 6th through 8th students, but we do have some that.
So how do parents know about that opportunity?
So what happens in the school year, our coordinators at the school sites will then send out a mailing list or information, an invitation saying, hey, we're having the S.T.R.E.A.M camp this summer. We would love for your student to participate, and they will return the information and they'll get on the sign-up list. We do often have a waiting list. The students, not only do the students love it, but the teachers love it as well. So it's fun, it's engaging, it's fast-paced. So we often have a waiting list to get in.
So the 25th is next week.
Yes.
So is there a waiting list already?
Some schools still have a few spots left. I would encourage people to reach out to the S.T.R.E.A.M coordinator at each school site. At the end, they can feel free to contact me at Daryle Rodgers in Hampton, and I will be sure to make sure I get them in contact.
So your information's on the school division website.
Yes, it
if
is.
they go underneath extended learning out of school time. As far as finding their S.T.R.E.A.M coordinators at their schools, where would they find that information?
They can come directly to me through my email or through a phone call. Also on the website, there's also the school names that have it on there with the numbers and contact as well.
Okay, and they can also call just the switchboard right there
Exactly.
for Hampton City Schools and ask for you, and they can get to you.
Yes.
If they're having a hard time finding you.
Yes.
Excellent. So there are some opportunities still available for our young people at different schools, and that does start next week, so they would need to probably look into that quickly.
Yes, and in addition to that, the academic days, they also have one day of field trips. And they also have one day of enrichments where we bring in social, emotional learning, recreation type of activities. So it's a holistic program that I think if they haven't signed up for, you would love to sign up for.
What about transportation?
Transportation is provided by Hampton City Schools, as well as we also provide a hot lunch and a snack during the day.
Excellent. So that's a lot of support
It is.
for our young people. And how long have we had the S.T.R.E.A.M program?
We have been doing S.T.R.E.A.M now for 6 years.
Wow, 6 years.
Yes, ma'am.
And has the enrollment been going up?
The enrollment has gone up, and each year we wind up being awarded more grants, thankfully. And so with that, of course, we can take more students. So the very first year we started with about 80 students, and now we're up to 1,000. So
We're up to 1,000 students.
students.
What a
Yes.
great opportunity.
Yes, ma'am.
And really kind of, we know this sounds wonderful, but how does that help our kids? How does it help the community?
Well, it helps with the summer learning slide. Our students are engaged in fun activities that are academic based. It also allows them to have project-based learning opportunities where they can be hands-on. They get to go on field trips that tie into, so they get to see things necessarily they might not get to see in different learning experiences. So it provides a holistic opportunity for them to really learn and to be hands-on and engaged.
Wow, that sounds like a wonderful opportunity for our students.
It is.
So before we wrap up, I know that you had 2 successful symposiums this past year.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about those.
Well, the first symposium we had in the fall, and what we do is we try to invite others that have extended learning programs, whether it's faith-based organizations or your YMCA's, Boys and Girls Club type of organizations, and they will come out and we'll provide some curriculum alignment, what we're doing with Hampton City Schools, some fun resources and tidbits they can do to add to their already great programs that they're doing. So we're just trying to give them some information so that they can tie into what we're doing in Hampton City Schools. This past year we had Dr. Hodges, our keynote speaker from ULC. It was really engaging and enthusiastic. And then the summertime symposium that we had our first summertime symposium this year, and that was around summer reading, really getting the community members engaged in getting our students to read during the summer and to have fun doing their summer readings and reading and producing like read alouds and social emotional learning into our reading. So that was gauged around really focusing on the community, pushing for the reading in our students this summer.
Which is a big thing, because as we know in education, it's very easy during the summer for any student,
Yes.
even the strongest reader, just to kind of put down that book
Yes.
and go on to other activities. And it is a big piece, making sure that they're consistent so that they're not having that slide and ready for school when they begin in the fall.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for being
Thank
with
you.
us today. There are a lot of exciting things, obviously, that go on during the school year with Hampton City Schools, but just as many exciting things in the summer,
Yes,
and
it is.
to provide that information to our viewers.
Thank
So
you.
thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Please stay tuned, as we will be back with our next guest, Shannon Vander Stouwe with the YMCA.
Do you want to retire like a champ? Just like legendary basketball star Uncle Drew.
Don't do it like that, Uncle Drew.
You're already acing the game. You've got your dream ride.
Don't be slamming my door.
Sorry about that.
You just did the same.
Gotta get the boys.
Your dream vacation and your dream team. And now you can make your retirement just as legendary.
I get buckets.
Get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
They'll test you. Try to break your will. But however loud the loudness gets, however many cheese puffs may fly, you're the driver, the one in control. Stand firm. Just wait. And move only when you hear the click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
Welcome back to HCS Connects. I'm Kelly Gorel with Hampton City Schools. Our second guest today is a special individual from the Hampton YMCA, Shannon Vander Stouwe, who is the director of the aquatics program. Welcome.
Thank you very much for having me today.
Absolutely. So our whole theme of this show has been schools out for the summer. I mean, we all know that song.
Absolutely.
But, you know, what are the opportunities still available for the children in Hampton, the city of Hampton? So tell me a little bit about, when we think of YMCA, we think a lot about swim lessons, and it's that time of the year. So tell us the history of the YMCA and the swim lessons.
So the Y has been a leader in the swim lesson program since the beginning. The YMCA was actually responsible for the first group swim lessons back in the early 1900s. So we've been involved in swim lessons for many, many years in our history. So we've got group swim lessons, and we also have the S.T.R.E.A.M program, which we'll talk about a little bit more.
Oh, excellent. Why is that so important? I mean, why are swim lessons that critical? What are some statistics around that?
Swim lessons are learning to swim is a life skill. This is something that every child should learn. It's a safety measure, and it builds confidence. It's a huge confidence builder with children. 2 children die every single day from drowning. So this is something that we really have a responsibility and want to step in and help.
And that's really the statistics. It's
It is.
2 children a day.
Every single day.
Wow, that's really scary. And even around here, we've seen just in the local media lately, as far as from North Carolina all the way through Hampton, and some of the things that we've seen just in the last few weeks.
Absolutely.
So the SAW program, SAW,
Yes.
What is that exactly?
So that stands for Safety Around Water. It is a national YMCA movement, and really what it's geared towards is teaching children and adults really, but focusing on children to teach them the basic skills to save themselves. Some of the skills that we really focus on are the jump, push, turn, grab technique. It's really to mimic if a child falls into a backyard pool, which is a very common problem that comes up, and it teaches them how to get themselves back up, get back to the wall, and exit the pool. The swim, float, swim technique is the other piece that we really work on. This would mimic maybe falling off a dock, something like that, where they need to swim a distance to get to safety. So they swim a few feet, flip over onto their back, take a breath, scream for help, flip back over and swim more distance.
So that's really the focus. It's not to become this Olympic swimmer. We're not trying to train them to compete. It's more just those life-saving skills.
Absolutely.
So how long does the program last?
So there's 8 45-minute classes. So we have a very structured curriculum that we follow, day 1 through day 8. We do a pre-test. Day 1, we assess the children, figure out where they are, what do they already know, and then by the final day 8, this is where we see where they've gotten to and recommend what level to move on to next.
So how do people find out information about this? I believe it's free for second graders, correct?
Absolutely.
Well, how is that free? And tell us about that.
So the Peninsula Association, we have an endowment fund, and that is how the second graders are paid for. So it's completely free to the participant. The YMCA covers the cost for it.
So absolutely free. 8 sessions. Yes. I'm assuming we're in summer mode. Mm-hmm. Some of those sessions may have already started, but are there more opportunities from now through September?
Absolutely. So we actually run this program monthly. We start in January and run 4-week sessions all the way throughout the year. So we have many opportunities.
So it's not just a summer piece.
Absolutely.
But we associate swimming and
Sure.
summer together.
Absolutely.
But right now, when everybody has off for the summer, or most individuals do, that's the
Absolutely.
big push is to get them in. So when does the next session start? Do you know?
So we will start on July the 7th. So we are in registration currently for the next upcoming session.
Where do they find that registration? Who do they contact?
They can either contact myself on the Peninsula YMCA website, www.peninsulaymca.org, and use the program search feature. All of the branches offer this program, so if it's someone outside of the Hampton area, they can search that way, but they'll search the Hampton branch.
And how successful has this program been as far as enrollment with students and so forth?
Very successful. We've had almost 150 kids go through this program this year so far. We have 40 currently in the program for the June session.
And what's the max?
So it varies. We offer as many classes as we possibly can. Once we hit a wait list, we do everything we can to get more instructors in to meet the need.
And do you work with any of the families as far as if they don't have the equipment to swim, the bathing suits and so forth?
Absolutely. So we scholarship, so we have opportunities with that as well. So
Excellent. Well, I think that we've touched a lot upon, it's crucial. It's a life-saving skill.
Absolutely.
And it really, regardless if you're young to being an adult, is there anything else that you can think of that really needs to hit home as people are watching this so that they want to participate in this program?
no, really just taking action and not waiting until later. So feedback that I get from a lot of parents is that they never learn to swim, so they're hesitant to put their children in swim lessons because of their own fears. And we do offer adult swim lessons as well. That's where the scholarshiping piece really comes into it. We're starting a new program where it's actually an adult and child youth program. So let's say that you have a mother with an 8-year-old daughter, they can take swim lessons together to work together.
Well, that's an excellent opportunity. Well, thank you so much for being here with us today. We appreciate all of the information, the opportunities for our students and all children as far as the city of Hampton.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining us on HCS Connects. And in the meantime, stay connected with us through Facebook, Twitter, our division's homepage, as well as PEG TV. Thank you and have a great day.